thanks to all the participants, very respectful participants. I hope they all belong to the oppressed nations or someone who has spent for lives for human rights, and I hope they will understand what I am saying. Thanks to the brave Afghan women, that they are also here, and on every stage they rise voice for women rights in Afghanistan, in a situation where no one can rise voice for the women rights. I'm just here to say something about the tyrant Pakistani state. Since 2001, under the banner of the war on terror, the world has sought to combat terrorism. The United States and its Western allies engaged with Pakistan as a key partner in this war, particularly in Afghanistan and the Pashtun belt. However, Pakistan exploited this alliance for its own strategic gains, committing severe human rights abuses against the Pashtun people. This operation has led to systematic violence, land grabs, forced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and the destruction of Pashtun communities. Despite international efforts to combat terrorism, Pakistan has used this opportunity to further its own agenda at the cost of Pashtun lives and dignity. Rather than genuinely addressing terrorism, Pakistan manipulated the narrative to justify repression against Pashtuns. The Pakistani establishment deliberately fostered an environment that painted Pashtuns as terrorists, legitimizing their persecution. With financial and military assistance from the international community, Pakistan intensified its campaign against Pashtuns, leading to mass displacement, loss of property, and countless civilian casualties. Instead of targeting actual terrorists, Pakistan turned its efforts towards silencing, oppressing, and marginalizing the Pashtun population. Pakistan has established 43 illegal detention centers that violate both national and international laws. These detention centers operate outside legal framework, where detainees face torture, extrajudicial killings, and indefinite detention without trial. Approximately 60,000 Pashtuns have been unlawfully detained, with 6,700 still missing. Families remain unaware of their loved ones' whereabouts and attempt to seek justice are met with state resistance. Pakistan established military courts that operate without transparency, sentencing Pashtun without due process. Legal representation is denied and fabricated charges are common. In 2011, the Action in Aid of Civil Power law was enacted, granting security forces unchecked power to detain and punish individuals without accountability. Over the past 2 decades, Pakistan has killed approximately 76,000 innocent Pashtuns. The violence against Pashtun has led to widespread disability and civilian casualties. Over 6,000 Pashtuns have been disabled due to military oppression. The use of landmines has resulted in 1,274 incidents. Mostly victims are children, with 800 killed, 250 disabled, and 77 left blind. The devastation extends to livestock, with 400 animals perishing due to landmines, severely impacting the livelihood of poor Pashtun families. The Pakistani military actions have caused the forced displacement of over 9 million Pashtuns. Among those who have returned, 60% have lost their property. 67% have lost their livelihood. The widespread destruction include 3 lakh homes and 3 lakh homes and 2,000 schools, further deepening the region instability and depriving future generations of Pashtun. Pakistani forces grabbed 1 million acre residential land in various areas of Pashtun belt in Pakistan. The Pakistani state has systematically targeted Pashtun culture and free speech. Over 44 musicians and 68 journalists have been assassinated. The use of banned white phosphorus bomb in North Waziristan in September 2024 further illustrates Pakistan's disregard for international laws. Despite receiving substantial international aid for counter-terrorism and rehabilitation, the Pakistani state has misallocated funds in reaching its own military establishment and failing to support the affected communities. The Pashtun Tahfuz Movement (PTM), Pashtun Protection Movement, was established in 2018 in response to the decades-long persecution of Pashtuns. Since the inception in 2018, PTM has peacefully advocated for Pashtun rights and demands. What was the demand? All the demands are human rights demands, fundamental human rights. Means we demanded that there should be a cessation of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. The prosecution of security officials involved in human rights violations. We demanded for the removal of landmines from civilian areas. We demanded to end to military-sponsored militias. In daylight, Pakistan supported all the terrorist organizations, all the militias which are involved in wars and target killings. We demanded an end to these military-sponsored malicious operations. We demanded a transparency in international aid distribution. We demanded for peace and stability in our areas. But instead of engaging in meaningful dialogue, the Pakistani state has criminalized PTM activism, mass arrests and persecutions. Over 5,427 PTM members has been detained under false terrorism and sedition charges since 2018. They targeted and assassinated the PTM leaders. You all know well, in 2018, June 2018, they killed 3 PTM members and injured 47 members in Vana. They killed Arman Nuni in February 2019. They murdered Arif Wazir in 2020. They assassinated Senator Osman Kakar in 2022. They directly Pakistani military killed 16 peaceful PTM protesters and injured over 50 PTM members in North Waziristan Khad Kamar in 2019, 26 May 2019. They executed extrajudicially Gilaman Wazir in 2024. They are using chemical weapons in the tribal belt, in Pashtun belt. Even on 24 and 25 of September 2024, they used white phosphorus bombs on civilians in North Waziristan, Mereli. And still, they are using stick, bombs, jails, extrajudicial killing to meet with the human rights defenders. In October 2024, there was a grand Pashtun Jarga. All this data was approved by all the Pashtun leaders and the Pashtun people. And the Jarga made some decisions for the peace and stability of the region. But after the Jarga, the tyrant Pakistani state started violence against the Jarga members. Haji Abdul Samad, Jarga member, other Jarga member, Malak Nasir Afridi, Ali Wazir, Hakyar Masood, Ebrarul Haq Khatak are still in their jails, in fake charges, in fake FIRs. And 3 days ago, they murdered Mufti Munir Shakir, a Jarga member. They put more than 3,000 PTM members in 4th schedule. And in the last, they described PTM, a peaceful human rights organization. They described this PTM as a proscribed organization and banned its all activities. But despite the PTM non-violent nature, PTM has been met with brutal repression from the Pakistan state. The movement has sought justice for enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and other state-sponsored crimes. However, the Pakistani military and intelligence agencies have targeted PTM leaders, PTM members. We are demanding some demands from the whole world, mainly from United Nations, from European Union, from USA, although they are allies of Pakistan, but still we are demanding our demands that immediate lifting the ban from PTM. The proscription violates international human rights laws. And to hold Pakistan accountable for systematic human rights abuses, apply diplomatic pressure to end enforced disappearances, illegal detentions, and extrajudicial killings, and persecution of human rights activists. We demand from the international community to conduct an independent audit of the international aid. Ensure that funds are used for humanitarian purposes and not for state repression against Pashtuns, Baloch, Sindhis or others. We demand to suspend Pakistan GSP plus trade privilege until compliance with human rights standards. The Pakistani government has failed to uphold its obligation under the European Union Generalized System of Preference Plus, GSP Plus. Launch an independent investigation into war crimes. These are not only the story of Pashtuns. Same stories from Baloch, same stories from Sindh, same stories from Kashmir, Gilgit, Baltistan and other areas. We all are oppressed and the international community is watching this as things. We demand to secure justice for the victims of state persecutions, advocate for reparation of affected families. And at last, we demand from the whole world, from the whole communities of the world, to stand for the human rights and especially for the women rights, women education, and women jobs in Afghanistan. Now, PTM commitment to peace and justice. Still, we are peaceful. Our resistance is peaceful for the defense of fundamental human rights. Our sole objective is to secure justice, dignity, and basic human rights for our people. We respectfully request to the world community, international community, European Union, USA, and other allies, United Nations, to take immediate action to address these pressing human rights violations. Your intervention is crucial. The intervention of international community is crucial in ending the persecution of millions of innocent Pashtuns, Baloch, Sindhis, and other oppressed nations in Pakistan, and ensuring that international aid serves its intended humanitarian purposes. We stand ready to assist in any independent investigation or discussion that may facilitate justice and accountability. Thanks. Thanks to all.
Thank you very much, Manzoor Ahmad Pashteen, the leader of PTM, who has depicted a real picture of what's happening in Pashtun areas and the scale of devastation in human lives and in the material destruction of the Pashtun people.